Attention terrorists, hold on. Here's Tara's Daily Rant.
Well, we often joke on this show that U.S. media, liberal U.S. media, is like state-owned media. I mean, they wouldn't sound much different if they were government-owned. Some of them actually maybe. Would you subject your children to that? No, you would not, you probably say. Would you subject your children to actual state-owned media? How about CCTV? It's a production of the Communist Party of China. No, I'd never subject my children to that. Really? You wouldn't subject them to years of Chinese propaganda? No, I wouldn't do that. Is there a TikTok app on your kid's phone? You just did. I've been warning about this for a very, very long time. We had the TikTok hearings yesterday. I want to pull this back up to understand so we can understand what's at stake. We got the shocking revelations in the Twitter files after years of the New York Times and the Washington Post writing these stories about how Russian bots were influencing people. They were everywhere. They were Russian bots. And in the Twitter files, you'll remember we made a shocking discovery. Those stories were lies. There were no Russian bots. Wait, what? No. And you see the folks at Twitter in the Twitter files, which were released by Elon Musk after he bought the company, including the good liberals at Twitter. They're being told by the FBI they should go hunt the Russian bots. Get them off the site, man, because they are out there confusing people, trying to get them to vote Republican. See, the good liberal censors at Twitter go looking for the Russian bots that they're reading in the Washington Post, New York Times, are all over Twitter and like my, similar social media sites. They can't find them. There are no Russian bots. To placate the FBI's public calls for them to take the Russian bots that did not exist down, they went and deleted some old Russian Twitter accounts that were no longer active, but they couldn't find the bots. In fact, they begun to resent the reporting of the New York Times and the Washington Post accusing Twitter of manipulating the political conversation with bots. Remember, the election was influence. Election influence. Can't have it. A democracy if we have this Russian election influence. There wasn't any. It was a lie. Why was the left telling that lie? Well, as Lee has taught us all, they always accuse you of what they're doing. See, because there's a whole bot army nobody's going after. Do you know where it is? TikTok. You should read this Forbes article. It's jaw-dropping. Well, the FBI has pretended there are Russian bots on Twitter and used it as an excuse to take down actual Americans who disagree with the FBI and who criticize Democrats, because you don't ever do that. FBI doesn't like that. The Chinese, in particular, the Chinese state-controlled media, has brainwashed an entire generation of youngsters, most specifically around politics. Like, what scale are we talking? Oh, in the 2022 election, tens of millions of posts. This is not a small operation. Over 10,000 sites. This is not secret. These are registered foreign agents. They have registered with the federal government because they have to. The accounts are managed on TikTok by Media Links TV. That is a registered foreign agent, Washington, D.C. outpost of the, get this, main Chinese Communist Party television news outlet called China Central Television. In fact, you'll see the agreement, the abbreviation CCT and CCTV all over TikTok, the videos. Again, it stands for China Central Television. It is a full-blown state production. It has only one aim: to get Democrats elected in the United States of America and to infuse woke culture into an entire generation. Let that sink in. Has the FBI conducted any kinds of removal operation? It's weird. They're the only one of the major social media outlets that the FBI just not interested in. In the run-up, Forbes reports to the 2022 election. By the way, if you want to read this, because it's horrifying, what we've turned our children's mind over to. On TikTok, Chinese state, this is the headline, Forbes, on TikTok, Chinese state media pushes divisive videos about U.S. politicians. And what do these videos say? It's mostly a lot of lies about the Republicans. It's vote Democrat, vote Democrat, vote Democrat, vote Democrat. Transition your gender, vote Democrat, vote Democrat. A video from July began with the caption, Cruz, Abbott don't care about us. Another one from October was captioned, Rubio has done absolutely nothing. These are wholesale productions of the Chinese state media. And look, Forbes has been great. So has the Federalist in documenting how this woke culture is being pushed hardcore on TikTok. I can't go to a sporting event with my kids without all these kids on their phones. They're all on TikTok. They couldn't be more loyal consumers of Chinese state-controlled messaging if they lived in China. That is the threat. That is the threat. So you know what this means? China understands and recognizes that that if a country is ruled by Democrats in a permanent majority, it will be so weakened. China can roll right over. And that's exactly what they're doing. Never mind the outright spying, manipulation, and control that we heard about from the TikTok CEO yesterday. Like this. Yo, dude, CEO, TikTok. Can the Chinese Communist Party manipulate content?
Do you disagree with FBI Director Wray and NSA Director Nakasone when they said that the CCP could have the capability to manipulate data and send it to the United States? Do you disagree with their statement?
The statement says could.
So do you disagree with that?
No, I don't disagree with that.
Okay, so it is possible that the CCP, under the auspices of ByteDance, which is your parent company, which you get paid from, has the ability to manipulate content.
Now, lest you think, oh, I'll just get the TikTok app off. No, that's not good enough. Because while the FBI was busy removing tens of thousands into the millions across the 15 platforms of accounts of regular Americans who criticized their government or Democrats, they did nothing about CCTV, the production of literally the propaganda arm of the Chinese government on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. He left it all up. No interest in taking that down. Oh, it was on Twitter too. Oddly, when you go through the Twitter files, only thing the FBI doesn't seem interested in removing. Folks, understand this. It's not just China influence. It's not just China spying. It's not just China building folders on all of us in case one of us is ever in a position of influence to have compromise and blackmail material, although it is all those things on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Oh, it's so much bad. It's so much bad. We literally have an entire generation growing up for the first time under actual communist propaganda from an actual communist country, piped in daily over and over and over again. Look at the stats on depression. I mean, folks, and they're trying to kill you kids. No, literally. I mean, what did we have yesterday? We had the study that ran in Vice. You make a fake account, say you're a 13-year-old boy, 10 minutes, the pro-suicide videos start hitting you. You think that's an accident? No. It's asymmetrical warfare, as a word I've been using last few weeks. So and the Democrats are like, hey, let's not ban it. Well, no, they want to live in a Marxist regime. Of course they don't want to ban it.
Terrorists wanted. Hear the Terra Show weekday mornings on 106.3 WORD and the Odyssey app.